perhaps now.
Great intro, though.
Well, thank you. Let's try that again.
Good practice.
Let's try that again. Welcome and welcome back, everybody. This is Landfall.
Nope, still not.
I'm
Still not showing
seeing
live.
us.
It's not live
There
for
we
me.
go. There we go.
All right. All right. So I've got, goodness, I've got that stuff to change. Boy.
We're
Mm-mm-mm.
We're good.
All right. We'll be starting here in just a moment, everybody. Thanks for joining us and thanks for being so patient. I've got a couple of details in the back to fix up. One being false advertising on our stream name here. So let me fix that really quick. But welcome back, everyone, for the next session of Landfall. I'm DM Feanor, pro DM, and these are some of my marvelous players that play in my sessions throughout the week. The Mythlanders. We have over here, all the way on the end, is Pon Pon from, I believe it is Twitch TV / Foxy Pon Pon, playing Lady Saida, an Elven Paladin. Just below her, we have Loquitur, Darth Loquitur, who is playing Kinnet, a scout turned reluctant and very recent company commander. Just to the side of him, we have Jay Finks, who is playing Zim, a gnome druid who is recently also risen in the ranks of the Magi of the effort, a master of tools and impromptu uses. Above him, we have Big Bri Lulfry, who is playing Crinshaw, a hard-bitten and grizzled old soldier. So how are we doing this week, everybody? Checking in a little bit while I do a couple of details in the background.
I am doing really well. I'm very excited to be here playing D&D.
It is the good stuff. All right, I think good on that. Let's see here.
Good, you know? Really feeling it tonight.
Oh yeah, you're feeling it? That's good.
I am.
Yeah, right, all right. That's good. That's good. That's what we want to hear. How about you, DL? How's your week?
Good so far, hanging in there. Got through the Monday.
Yeah.
Well, so far, let's see what happens.
Well, yeah. Well, come on. This is the stressful reward for all your hard work. Oh, man. It's funny how much...
Congratulations, you made it through the workday. Now let's see if you can make it.
Now you're in my world. Well, it's funny how much we enjoy like hardcore entertainment. You know, like Game of Thrones is really popular, and some people describe that TV show as like a bad relationship that you just keep coming back and it keeps hurting your feelings. And likewise, like there's a lot of us like really nice people that like hardcore games and like really visceral, intense situations. It's really interesting. I think there's a lot that current psychologists could say about the like potential for role playing and like what it helps us explore and find out about ourselves. And there's actually a couple of groups that are licensed therapists that are also dungeon masters, and they run for each other, but they also run special groups for their clients and stuff. It's really fascinating stuff. But let's talk about this table. So last session on Landfall, you all were invited to a couple of viewings. One was the installation of the new Alliance effort prosthetic limbs, quite an ordeal. The other was the autopsy of the menai that your company brought back, the first of any menai corpses recovered. At the end of these viewings, it seemed that the menai was not quite dead, perhaps faking it or under some sort of magically induced coma-like or death-like trance. In either case, the figure pulled itself up, its sort of trailing tendrils of its body snapping into rigid form and casting lightning about, drawing the other magi into him. The Kimura had turned to all of you and told you to go and fight for the city. Go and that the menai had attacked in force. Little is known about the Kimura. It's rumored among the Magi, however, Zim, you would know this, that she rose to power as young as she is because she's capable of nearly any magical feat. Even more softly is it whispered that her limitation is that she can only do each feat a particular way one time, and that's her challenge as a magi, is to learn new ways to produce similar, if not identical, effects. So apparently it said that she's quite sparing in her use of magic and uses words more often. In either case, you all were, yeah, you came back out. In one case, sort of driven out by the Kimura. In another, Crenshaw and Kennett's case, driven back out by the ruckus. You can hear rumbling as if a storm is passing over the city, one you shouldn't be able to feel through the strange, thin, magical walls of the Halls of Silence. Now, I figure we'll pause here for just a moment before we step back into the action and see if there's anything let's check in. Do you all have any questions about last session? Questions about some of your new abilities or anything like that?
Yes. I think it should be noted and remembered that China is very drunk. He's a little less so than before, but not by much. I can't recall what that did to her. I wrote it down, I thought, but maybe I was too drunk and I didn't write it down correctly.
Maybe I should have prepared lesser restoration.
I smell really bad too, but I think there was some prestidigitation done too.
Yeah, the one different, strange wizard guy that came over prestidigitated the area.
Am I a mod also in shimmering?
Yes, you all should be mods.
I want to boot this guy here.
Oh, is somebody throwing us an advertisement?
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Ryan. Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions, or did you all want to share any of your new abilities to help you all prepare for what is surely going to be a dangerous set of situations? All right. Yeah. If you all aren't interested in that, that's fine. We can move right on.
I don't think I gained anything. I gained nothing at level 3. Some spells.
All right. All right. So the sound of a storm rages overhead. You all begin moving back through the corridors, returning to a larger plaza that I believe you all can see detailed on the map. I'm going to go ahead and switch us over. Aha. Oh, I've got one more. I have to fix one more thing. Make sure DL is over here with us. Haha, okay. Yeah, just making sure that we're all in and everybody can be seen as I switch us over to the map screen. Oh wait, that's not right.
You need to
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I just noticed that.
repost my link.
No. I just need to switch over to the other scene and make a mess of the stream for a moment while everybody watches, which is fine, and then slip back over here. Now we should be good.
Fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I feel fine about it.
Apparently, you're only coming out of the left speaker.
Huh. Okay. Well, give me just a moment with that, and let us see what happens. now, and they can tell me if it changes, if that gets better. Yeah, for some reason we're on that mono. I'm not sure. So tell me when that changes there, Small Wonder. I am clicking a couple things in the background in my setup here, my audio setups. I got it. All right. Excellent.
Got it.
Excellent. How about everybody else? Does everybody else sound good? Well, we appreciate you coming, Small Wonder. Thank you so much.
I got you, babe.
I always think of that. I don't know if anybody remembers this this TV show from the 80s or early 90s. Small Wonder. It was about a little girl who was an android.
Ooh,
I
that's
freaking loved that show as a kid. Anyway,
You're like a still image.
I'm a still image.
Yeah.
Yo.
From earlier.
Huh. All right, let me just try that. Ah, okay.
Yeah, definitely from earlier.
All right, am I back? I think I'm back.
You're back.
All right, fantastic. Can everyone see the map that I have us on?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Crenshaw and Kennett, you'll be coming out of the top set of doors here. Saida and Zim, you'll be coming out of the bottom set of doors. Let's go ahead and bring the initiative counter up. Everyone go ahead and highlight their tokens and roll initiative once you have your tokens out. Now, as you move through the corridors, as I described them, seeming to be almost paper-thin layers of wavering gold, shifting as if, like, still water under a gentle breeze. I also described the Hall of Silence being so named because sound nearby you seems to be muted, suppressed, as if pushed back to the speaker or the person who's rustling their clothes. However, sounds from multiple chambers and corridors away on other floors can be heard out in the normal corridors as if a whisper from far away. Now that whisper changes to alarmed shouting, and here and there it's punctuated with screams of rage and pain. The thundering, booming overhead is now shaking the walls and floor mildly, forcing the walls to ripple, and the pale golden light that illuminates the floors and ceiling to sort of shift fitfully. All right. We're missing on initiative. We need Lady Saida on initiative.
Yeah, it's having some buggy issues. I got it.
No worries. We all have some buggy issues sometimes. But yeah, we just need to see her initiative.
She's still drunk.
Perfect. Perfect. And this checks out too character-wise. Top of the order is Kennett. As you open the doors, you see your companions across from you. This chamber, but there's normally behind here there are clerks directing people, are gone. The doors are open. At least one set of them, like pulled back like curtains, pinned by strange crystal rods that float in the air. You can hear a distant echoing of footsteps far off to your west, as if multiple Magi are fleeing to or from something. But at the top of the order, how do you proceed, Kennett? What's the first thing that you do?
I'm gonna go down this way, and we're gonna try to stealth up and see if I can like peek out the door and see what's out there.
All right, go ahead and make that perception check. So,
12.
the main thing that you notice is staring down into an area that was an hour and a half ago, a lush garden, a place where the Magi of the effort keep many different plants, particularly herbs and such that are useful to them, but also just things of beauty all of them it seems they've been blighted. You see sort of ash and dust across the floor. You see there's still some greenery in some of the, like some pockets, but also looks as if plants have been sort of uprooted and thrown across the floor. You can see just underneath the sort of statues flanking the room, and see a bit down the corridor beyond. There's some large. I don't know how to let's see here. There's a large shape within, and I mean large by rules, as written. It's hard to tell what it is. It almost looks like a cloudy sort of field of shifting form, as if there's some sort of pattern that's sort of shifting over and over again. It's the halls of the Magi, and you've seen these sort of strange illusory patterns that mages can put up to confuse and distract each other. But it's hard to be certain of what you see.
Okay. Do I feel like I'm hidden, or?
You definitely could tuck back behind the corridor, behind, back into the corner that you're in, and make a stealth check if you like.
Okay. I'll do that. But as I'm doing it, I'll just yell out to my crew here. Gather up. Something out there.
All right. And I want to be clear, this is like shortened exploration turn, so there's like 30 seconds. So you can definitely make a stealth check if you wanted, as in addition to those actions.
Okay, and then is the fighter guy with us? I'm blanking on his name at the moment. Sorry.
Arrest.
Arrest, yeah. Rolled a 1, so that's an 11 stealth.
Better than a 0 stealth.
It is. Thank goodness no automatic failures on stealth.
That's true.
Not great.
All right, let me go ahead and bring him up. What the heck?
I think it makes it worse for us if he's here, because then we gotta somehow protect him. Don't want him killed too.
True enough. Let me just throw him on the initiative, see what he does. Well, let's say he goes right along with you. He hops over the rail as he comes down about halfway, steps up on the what looks like a desk, hops over it, and crouches with his probably didn't bring his heavy repeating crossbow in, so he just has his gnarl and throwing daggers. He seems ready to charge forward. He seems to be readying an action to charge if he sees anything. Next in the order is Zim. You see your companions, you hear what Kenneth has to say, you see your companions sort of move toward the door, keeping cover and keeping ears and eyes peeled toward the west.
See anything up there?
Something out there. Something big and shadowy.
I'll move my whole extent of 25 feet. Since exploration, we'll go a little further here in a moment. I'll cast Misty Step on myself. Not Misty Step, Mirror Image. And make 3 of me.
Nice. If you want to just pull out extra tokens, that's fine. And if you need, just mark one of them as the one that's you, so you know.
Sounds like a plan.
Not even you will know which one is the real.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put that up in chat. Oh, you already did. Sweet. Thank you, sir. All right. Zim, you can go ahead and make a perception check too as you step up and look
Wonderful.
westward.
Perception's not the best. Let's see what happens. A 9.
Again, you see. Yeah, you make out less than Kenneth does. You just see, sort of darkened corridor ahead, the strange warbles and, sort of shifting light and warbling sound. Nothing out of the ordinary, except you don't hear the normal whispers or hubbub of acolytes and teachers speaking. This, of course, chamber is empty, and it's usually ringed with clerks.
Clearly something's happening. Nobody's around.
Let's see here. All right. All right. Is there anything else, Zim, that you do on your turn?
Nope. I'll get to the door and ready to head out when somebody else with more armor or more hit points goes.
Fair enough.
Speak of me.
Right. Also, briefly want to check with Kenneth. Kenneth, did you want Arrest to move up with you? Was that what you would have told him to? What would you have told him to do?
No, I don't want him back. I don't want him with me. I want him at a safe distance. I want him using crossbow or ranged weapon or whatever.
Okay.
So, stay out and fight.
All right. Next in the order is Crenshaw. Sorry to interrupt you, Big Bry. Sorry to interrupt you there, Big Bry.
Alright, so, Crenshaw is going to move up. And is it kind of loose? You said it's like exploration turns a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
A couple of actions or extra bonus action, that sort of thing.
Alright, so he's going to say to Kenneth, you want me to go out and check it out?
Yes, I do.
Alright, so having moved from the doorway up to here, 30-second turn, think maybe I could get to like this little alcove here?
I definitely think you could.
Okay. I want to try. I'm not sneaky or a scout, but I'm going to try and quietly get to this alcove and kind of duck down.
Okay. Alliance issue armor does not give you a stealth penalty.
Okay.
We can edit that through the sheet, but we can just go ahead and roll and just take whatever rolls on the left. Yeah.
All right. So 12.
12. Okay. All right. Not bad.
And I'm gonna duck down and kind of look down. What I'm thinking is like a narrow passageway.
Okay. Go ahead and give us that perception check.
All right. 14.
So as you creep closer, the sort of blanket, the curtain of darkness that recedes ahead of you, with just as the ambient light is just enough where you can see, decently within about 40 feet. But as you kind of step forward, that wall of gray, not quite shadow, recedes. You start to see a strange sort of shifting pattern, as if sort of interlocking circles or wavering lines. But as you get closer, you realize there's a large oblong shape floating in the air. It has the shifting form that you've heard of, perhaps seen before. This is one of the main pets and weapons of the menai, something called a horror. As you see it, it's impossible to understand or make out. Your brain keeps wanting to paste something from your world onto it. But each time you try to understand it, thinking that it's perhaps mottled, moldering snakeskin, shifting dead leaves, stirring coals. But each time you try to apply rationality onto it, it is shocking. It almost reveals how alien this thing is the more you try to make sense out of it. Simply looking at it can drive those of the mortals, those of the effort, can drive you mad, and sort of something like a charm effect.
Okay.
So, as you know what this thing is, your options are to avert your eyes and not look directly at it, which gives you disadvantage on attacks. It also gives it advantage to attack you once it gets within range.
Okay. Um, well, so for this turn, I'm just looking. I wanted to see what it was, so I definitely looked right at it, and then maybe kind of ducked down real quick to communicate what I saw.
Okay. Um, having just recently gone through some briefings, just recently fought the menai, and taken one back. This is information that would be pretty fresh, So as soon as you kind of figure out what it is, you can avert your eyes before you're affected this round.
Okay.
It's just that once you go to engage it in combat, it's going to be pretty challenging.
Okay. I'm gonna whisper back, kind of a loud hiss. Just, it's horrible. It's one of those shape-shifting things. It's freaky looking.
All right, and so you hang tight where you're at.
Yeah, yeah. Do I have any like half cover there or something since I'm crouched?
Absolutely.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna hang out right here.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, you got 3/4 cover if you crouch. Basically, just your head. All right. The next in the order is Saida.
Freaky? What do you mean freaky? Those monsters from before?
Not quite the same. Don't look at it too long.
She comes over to do exactly just that, to look at it. Where's is the window?
So yeah, these are doorways.
Doorways,
Yeah,
yeah.
and they are open.
Okay. I just want to give it a look.
Okay. So it is like the hallways are darkened. Let's see here. So yeah, it's definitely on the get toward the edge of your range of your vision, so you can make a perception check. You're sort of moving ahead, peering across the plaza area, former garden. All right. You also see this impossible, formless, shapeless, shifting demon, is what the effort calls it. This creature of the menai. Many, countless roping tendrils of looking like perhaps wet, viney bark or tentacled, like mollusk tentacles from the seafloor. Again, you also know what this is. You can avert your eyes, but you also know that to avert your eyes is going to be difficult once you're in melee range with it. You know that these things don't have any sort of ranged attack other than their appearance. That they often stun the enemies who just stand hapless and waiting for this thing to come wrap them up, sometimes slicing them to ribbons with its sharpened tentacles, sometimes bludgeoning or crushing, sometimes absorbing and vanishing the opponent.
For the love of Hades. One of those. I like to, maybe like readying action time, because I'm feeling like I'm ready for some actions. Something scary. um, I would like to channel divinity against a pure enemy, and basically that makes it so I have an advantage. I don't know if I can use that's a bonus action, so I was wondering if I can do that now. Um, they have to make a wisdom saving throw, but yeah, I'm targeting them basically.
Yeah, it looks like you can. Let's see here. We just got to make sure they're within 60 feet, right? Not within 60 feet.
Oh, dang it.
I would allow you to move up if you wanted to move up within range.
Okay. I figured that was 60 feet. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of close. Oh, that thing is so nasty. Um, well, that does not look like something I can stand in.
it's a little bit out of turn, but I mean, could Crenshaw go up with her and cover her?
Let's see
If
here.
not, that's fine. I figured I'd ask since we were right before combat. I didn't know how tight we wanted to play it.
Well, you decided to stealth, right?
Yeah, in my initial
So
coming up
that
through
slows
there,
you
so.
down. That makes you have to move half speed unless you have some ability that changes that.
I do not.
So yeah. So you could not
Okay.
move up to help, unfortunately.
Okay, cool. No worries.
All right. Side as you stride forth, what is the holy symbol you present? Sorry to interrupt.
I imagine she has a necklace that she wears, and it is the. I wanted to be a symbol of deity, but I hadn't decided which would be appropriate for her. She's really into vengeance at this point in her life, so if there's a deity that strikes mind with that, that would be appropriate. Um, but she certainly maybe something about justice. Who would be good for justice? Hmm. We'll get to that.
A common and
But
popular one, at least among humans, is Tyr, who is a lawgiver, whose symbol is a sword,
uh-huh.
who actually, gave their hand for fairness and order. Basically, sacrificed their hand.
That's what I was looking for. That sounds perfect.
Awesome. Elven Paladin of Tyr. So your sword then would, you know, brandishing it a certain way could be your holy symbol.
I do like that. I kind of wanted to have the necklace, but it's like,
Perhaps
they
both.
align
You know,
with
you have
each
to,
other. The sword and the necklace.
yeah. Perhaps have you hold up the necklace and hold up the blade or
Oh,
something.
that's. I think like where they have to be parallel to each other. They're both going up. It's like, and yeah, she's yelling and not yell. Yeah, she points at it and she's like, "I smite thee, beast of Hades."
Nice.
Without the laughter. That was just me.
So as you hold your symbol up, this creature seems to be billowing or slithering upward, falling continuously back into itself. But it gives no effect. It does not shrink or turn from you. It seems not to shiver or turn within itself. It seems unaffected by the symbol of Tyr's justice.
Oh, creature.
You can still take another action, as I've said. Well, that was your
Yeah, because that was a bonus, I guess.
Well, technically that was your action, but we're stretching this a little bit until combat begins in earnest. But it says there as an action.
No. I think she normally like charges right in or something like this, but knowing what it is and what can happen when looking at it, I think I would prefer to just prepare a defensive stance to observe um, what this thing's gonna do.
Okay. So as thunder rolls across the skies, shivering the walls and floors themselves, the whispers carried from far away through the strange nature of these halls, turning more and more to screams, rallying cries of combat. You can also hear the static of magical discharge, eldritch blasts, and fire summoned from other realms. You know somehow without knowing that something is moved into the halls of silence that does not belong here. Something more than the horrors, likely their masters. The thing seems to drift almost idly, curiously, but still swiftly. As it moves catching sight of Saida again, it surges toward her. Tentacle-like strands falling from it, sort of streaming back behind it, as if a jellyfish moving through water. It closes with Saida, but is unable to take an action as it dashed. Top of the order, Ares. Ares gives a shout and begins to run. You can speak out of turn, or you have an attack of opportunity if you want to trip him. But Ares is clearly going to charge past you. Do you try to stop him?
Does he look like he's under his own control, or does he just?
He does. His brows are beetled down hard. His eyes are very focused on the enemy.
Right. And as he starts to run, I'll say, "Hey, getting yourself killed won't bring Basht back."
Right, he says in a tense, clipped voice.
Use your crossbow, soldier.
Let's see. Now, I was thinking he might not have brought the crossbow in, thinking this was a safe place. He might only have his gnarl and his dagger. He could certainly throw one or the other. But if you insisted that he brought it, that's up to you.
No, I won't insist, but I certainly brought my bow. Don't leave home without it. It's like American Express card, right? So.
Okay, well then, you might have had him do it.
What can he do with the knurl? Is it returning? Will he have it back next turn, or will he just throw it?
It's not returning. If he throws it as a spear, it'll be gone. But it can extend out to pike length, so it can be a reach weapon. It could also be a two-handed sword, those kind of things. But
he's got daggers too.
He does.
I'll just tell him to stay behind Crenshaw. Follow Crenshaw. Wait for him.
He actually questions you. He says, "And Saida?" He's looking up there, seeing that Saida's by herself. This thing's come at her.
Follow Crenshaw.
Right. He moves up and sort of loosens his dagger. He's got his gnarl out. It's sort of a long sword, stretches out, the silver flowing, the blunted haft flowing out to sharp edges, becoming a long sword. He pulls the dagger out in his other hand, and has it ready to throw. No, he would have. Let's see here. He wouldn't have gotten to there, but so he does dash forward. Then he moves ahead. And next in the order is Kenneth.
Oh, combat is joined, right? So.
Absolutely, yeah. The combat's now time is collapsing down to normal combat turns, 6-second rounds.
All right. So if we don't really look at him, then it's going to be disadvantage, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What's the effect if we do look at him? You said it was a charm or a stun or something?
Yes.
Alright, I'll take my first couple shots without looking then. Guess I'll look away and... can I put Hunter's Mark on him, or do I have to look at him to do Hunter's Mark?
Go ahead and link that up. I think it has to be within range.
creature you can see within your range.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say you could glance up at it, target it, but you can also target something without looking at it. You can try to throw a dart or a dagger or try to fire a bow at something that you're not looking directly at. So I'd say it's the same thing. As long as you can see them, you have line of sight on them.
All right. Bonus action Hunter's Mark, and then we'll let fly with the first arrow of the combat.
All right. So of course that will be disadvantage if you're looking away from it. Very
17.
nice. That is a hit. Nice.
Okay, that didn't include the Hunter's Mark for some reason.
Should have a little bonus damage thing underneath the in the global damage modifiers underneath attacks.
I'll fix it. So 3 more damage, 12 total.
Fantastic. All right.
And kind of slide over a little bit so that other people can get around, and then I'll be done.
Awesome. So as your arrow slams into it, the whole form of it seems to shiver, like the tentacles changing length, some of them shifting longer, getting thinner, others shrinking, curling around each other, seem to fold into itself without changing size. Good round for Kenneth. Next in the order is Zim.
Alright. Zim's going to move on out of the door. Spy Kenneth.
Four Zims walk out through the door.
Alex, you just phase through Kenneth.
I love it. How does that feel, Kenneth?
Hi Zim, hi Zim, hi Zim, hi Zim, hi Zim.
One of them walks through your torso.
From there, Zim's gonna pull a stone from his pocket and hurl it without looking at the creature towards it. And cast magics with a magic stone.
Nice. Let's see that attack roll. This one would be... All right.
A whopping 9.
9 is going to miss. The stone arcs through past. It hits the statue nearby and explodes, showering a bit of gold flecks of sort of golden marble across the floor from the statue.
Yeah, I didn't like that statue anyway. And then, as that was a... Let me just check. The attacks with that spell a bonus action? That would be silly.
Be awesome.
You can make a ranged spell attack with 1 stone. Technically, it's an attack action, so. Alright.
Oops.
Bonus action.
Oh, goodness.
I'll take the hide action and. No, that was my action. What is my wild shape? Also. So that's magic stone right there.
All right.
If that's a bonus action, I think it's an action because you then use your spell attack, your ranged spell attack to throw a pebble.
Yeah. You or someone else can then can make a ranged spell attack with one of the pebbles.
But if you want to, you can have 2 more of them.
Yes.
Right. Right. I'll just say I cast it again on 3 stones, and I'm up on 3. Otherwise, I have no other useful bonus actions. So good. That is me. That is Zim.
All right. Very nice. Let's see. The impossible shifting shape of the horror drifts over Saida, lashing out with its tentacles. As it does so, it moves directly in between you and Crenshaw and Ares. As it drifts over, sort of almost engulfing Saida, blocking, blotting her from your view. A tentacle reaches out, slashing out, the air whistling as it cuts the air toward Crenshaw. Another slashes toward Ares, but this one seems curved as if to grab or club. All right, that is one attack toward Saida. One attack toward Crenshaw. If this is a third 20, I'm gonna just laugh. And one attack toward Ares. My goodness.
Phew, not a 20. Oh.
Ah, so much better.
Not a 20.
All right, make sure that is correct. To Saida is 13 damage. Say again.
Manner, I wanted to do like the block, like I'm ready, like in the defensive stance kind of thing. Like that's what I did over there. Prepared that. I just for some reason can't remember what it's called.
So you used your action to take that abjure enemy. So yeah, if you were to take the dodge action, is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, because everybody did have a couple of actions that round. That's fine. Let me go ahead and roll another attack roll for that with disadvantage. A 16.
It's the same. It hits, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay. So to Saida, that is 11 points of damage. To Crenshaw, that is 12.
Alright. I would like to use my reaction. Parry. It was a melee attack, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a superiority dice and
Awesome.
use that.
As this tentacle comes arcing down towards you, like the edge of it it's sort of peeling back till there's a sharp edge, whistling down at you like a scything blade. How do you go to parry it?
He's gonna kind of put his shield up and try and like knock the tentacle aside. Maybe not quite making it all the way, but maybe clipping the tentacle a little bit.
Perfect. Instead of coming slashing down like under your collarbone, you manage to sort of shunt it off to the side, and it just hits you with a bruising blow along your shoulder, sort of knocking you to the side.
So that'll reduce it by 3 plus 1, so 4. So that's 8 damage instead of 12.
Awesome. Now that you all are close enough, you and Ares and Saida and Ares and Crenshaw can all see. Even though it seems in an ever shifting and possibly changing form, you do see that there's an arrow sticking out of it. You see the arrow begin to be pushed out as if the wound is beginning to close itself. Next in the order is Crenshaw.
Okay. So reaction done. So Crenshaw is going to use his bonus action to yep, that's a bonus action. Okay. He's gonna yell out to Saida and just say like stay strong, don't look at it directly. And give her, is that plus charisma? Yep. So, oh, nice. So 8 temporary hit points
Let's go.
for Saida.
Yes.
And then he's uh, he's gonna take a swing at it with his longsword.
All right. Very nice.
No. 9.
All right. Now, that was without looking at it, correct?
Uh,
Or were you looking at it? I'm sorry.
no, he looked at it to swing.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Where did you go?
Oh no.
It just didn't pop up. All right. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Just for my clarification, would the wisdom saving throw come before or after the attack? Just so I know for future attacks.
Well, technically before.
Okay. Got it. 16 on the wisdom save.
You succeed. You. Yeah. How do you look at this impossible thing? Something that could not possibly exist in your reality. Something that just, for most people, just looking at it is enough to begin to fragment their mind or just enthrall them. How do you look at this thing and not be drawn in by that?
You know how if you put your fingers close together, close to your face, you can kind of see a blurb in the middle because you're looking past them?
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost like that. He's like it's more of a the thing is shifting, and he's like he's just thinking in his mind like just aim for the middle. And so I mean maybe that's why he misses, but he's just kind of looking. He's almost like trying to blur it in his vision and look past it and swing at it at the same time.
Awesome.
So he's trying to fuzz it in his vision.
Perfect. All right. All right. Nice round for Crenshaw. Anything else for you?
Nope. That does it for my turn.
All right. Next in the order is Saida.
All right. So the very first thing I would like to do is I would like to cast Bless on Crenshaw, Zim, and Kinnit. Well, I want to get Kinnit, but actually, given proximity, Eris is much closer and kind of an immediate danger zone.
Okay.
So yeah, get you next time, Kinnit. And then as bonus action, I would like to do Thunder Smite without looking at it on the horror.
The horror or the horror? Or both?
The yes.
Die, you whore.
All right. Sorry, I was responding in chat there and fixing something in the background. What are you about to do again?
Cast Thunderous Smite without looking at the horror. Horror.
All
He's
right.
gonna smite the horn.
Nice.
Yes.
Throw it up in chat for me.
Another one of those that I think you cast on a weapon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right. Awesome. So you have it up. You've cast your action was to bless. Now you've got smite up, and it'll last up to a minute unless you lose concentration. And then when you hit, boom, boom.
So that'll be my next go.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's how I read it. Is that how everyone else reads it?
Yep.
All right.
Rules is written you can't do two leveled spells in the same turn, so Bless is a leveled spell, and so is Thunder Smite. So
Correct.
Ideally, it would be next turn when you're about to attack. You would use Smite.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. first time I've ever tried to do it, so I was like, I'm being clever.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that would be really good if you could do two spells on one turn.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, thanks for catching that, DL. I'm juggling a lot of balls over here.
Yeah, I don't want to be a rules lawyer, but
No, no, I appreciate it, really. Like, running the stream, there's a lot of different stuff for me to juggle, so. And I think to run a good game, it takes everybody's.
Campaign, I've tried on multiple occasions, just absent-mindedly, to cast 2 spells in one turn.
Indeed.
And you're right, it would be awesome.
Well, now that I know, I guess I'll probably get that next time. Really can't.
If you have a bonus action cantrip, you can use that.
True.
My Green Flames Blade, does that work? I want to hit this thing. I want to hit it.
But I think you have to cast that on a weapon attack as well, so you need an attack action. But, I mean, you could ready it.
Bless is absolutely fantastic. It's the best thing you could have done. So.
Oh yeah, blesses.
Yeah.
You were kicking butt by giving everyone else a bonus to kick butt.
That's true.
Crenshaw.
Well, I
thanks
mean,
you.
so if I do Green Flame Blade, though, and then I do the Thunder Smite, will that be like a compounded thing next turn? Like I do the Green Flame Blade now, and then
Well, you could do next turn, because Green Flame Blade is a full action. You could do
Yeah.
Thunderous Smite, and then Green Flame Blade, which is part of your attack.
Yeah.
Right.
Green.
I got a little flipped because Divine Favor is the bonus action, and then for a second thought it was like
Right. And Green Flame Blade's a little weird because it doesn't start out doing anything to your target, I don't think. Only at 5th level does it actually do anything to your main target. At first, it just arcs and hurts another enemy.
next to it.
Yeah.
You can certainly do it for style points for now.
And I
I mean,
think,
that's
yeah,
kind of, yeah. I mean, it's been kind of.
it's her thing for sure.
It's definitely a good cantrip for many enemies coming around you.
You could always flip it off as a bonus action.
Like just make it go.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
yeah.
You do whatever you want with it as far as like what it looks like and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think she just wants to burn off the general air of evil around her, from the stench of this horror.
Absolutely. It's not pleasant. It does have a smell that is indescribably rank.
I like that you had trouble describing, and since you started with indescribable.
Yeah, I paint myself into a corner a lot with words.
You really sold it. I mean, the pause was perfect.
Oh, awesome. Excellent. All right, so the bottom of the order. Oh, let me hit the button way too many times for that. You all can hear, still further off,
Outside again.
just yeah, I guess I don't have a token for just the invasion, the event that's happening. So it's just going to stay unsighted for a moment. As you all hear, you can now definitely hear moving small ranked clusters of figures. The whispers coming back to you. You can hear them in the corridors, what you think corridors nearby just ahead, but also corridors above and below you. It seems like a good portion of the halls of silence are embroiled in battles with something like this. You also hear the floor itself seems to flicker, becoming more transparent. You can see faintly below you other corridors and chambers, and even beyond those, you can see even more dimly other chambers. You can see figures in black robes, likely Kachina or Magi, moving to and fro in defense. You can see blasts of fire, strange lightning, as they fight these, just you can't even see enough of them to make out, but you know by the size of them that they're more horrors. But also slender, lone figures that seem to catch lightning in their hands and turning it back on the wielders, seem to absorb forces into their body and spew them back out through hands or eyes, who float almost lazily. You're certain that these are menai. But Zim, you hear something that alarms you. You know you're close to well, first there's the nursery where the golems are made, where they're currently trying to produce sentient, self-aware, fully autonomous golems. But also next to that is halls of peace, which is where they keep the dead that they are experimenting on, attempting to bring memory, consciousness, and reason back to the dead, trying to work around the lost healing magic in the world to bring back the dead in a form, to keep the numbers of the effort up, to terrify the enemy, as they've learned that the Lear are bothered by the undead to the point where they try to either they lose their minds and attack them directly, or ignore them so completely that they leave themselves vulnerable to them. They're very strange the way they seem to react to the dead. So attempting to use that, they're trying to bring these back. But you hear a heavy iron door screeching being broken open. You can see dimly to the southwest, a level or two down. You can actually see this chamber being rent open by two horrors, barely to see the shapes of them, and another dim smudge that you can see is one of the menai directing them. You see limping, shambling, dashing, crawling out are the various undead that are kept in the halls of peace. It seems that the menai have let loose a dangerous force into the halls of silence. At the top of the order, Arrest now begins laughing. You haven't heard him laugh in some time. He first with the gnarl, he slashes out with it, and then he stabs out with his dagger. He's looking away. Both miss. He angles himself around where he's flanking with Crenshaw.
Quick question.
Yeah.
That second attack was a 12, right?
Yeah.
Did he roll his bless? I don't know if that would even matter.
Oh, that did. Okay, yeah. Does someone else want to roll that bless for him and see if that 12 was going to hit?
I got it. 3, so it'd be a 15.
That is a hit. Good call, Crenshaw. Where is it now? All right, next in the order is Kenneth. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna call the order to stay mobile, start moving away from this place. Seems like
Boss, we have a additional problem. The undead have been released.
that's what I'm trying to get us away from the hall, right? They're inside here.
They are ahead of you. The way you have to go, it seems that way.
Directly that direction.
Oh, I thought they were back here in the hall.
No, Zim can. Well, you all can. He just knows where to look. But if you look like to the west and then down, like you can, because you can kind of see through the floors now, as I described. Something is happening to the halls of silence. The walls are becoming more and more transparent, so he can actually see very dimly and just knows what he's looking at. And yeah, so they're likely going to be ahead of you.
All right, then I'm gonna float on over to here, and we're gonna use that net. We're gonna chuck a net on this thing.
Let's go. Throw it in chat. Now, is this the same net? Is it a trusty net? Have you had it repaired or replaced?
I've got 3 nets.
Oh, is this the lucky net though?
Yes, it is. It's the once ropered net.
Does it have any charms on it? Has it, from the roper? Did you keep any bits of it, or do you have the rope, the I don't know, the net marked in any way?
I am not sentimental about the net. It is a random net 01.
Fair enough. Some soldiers might, think of him as a little, almost an eidolon that they carry with them.
I think of it like fishing for whores. Let's do this. 18.
I want to take a brief pause. I don't normally do this, but yeah, let's stay away from that word if you don't mind. And step back into it. Awesome. Let's see here.
What did I do?
I may have misheard everybody. But yeah, it's not necessarily that it's like it's not a curse word thing. I'm gonna go and just put it in our private our chat. If I can navigate all these windows, 'cause I could be wrong.
I think it was a matter that the word is difficult to say.
Oh.
No, I wasn't saying it like that.
Oh, okay.
That's what you heard.
That yeah. Well,
I was definitely making that joke earlier.
that's what it was. Okay, so my brain was still there. So cool.
Okay, I just called something else.
No, not at all. Not at all. Just keep using the word. That's totally fine. I just thought that moment was being re-referenced again. I just wanted to go ahead and move away from that. But no, that it is called a horror. And
Sorry.
it's not easy for some people to say, no, not your fault, totally a misunderstanding on my fault. Thanks for just being patient and listening. But yeah, just go ahead and just use that word. That's totally fine. That is a hit, by the way. Whether you're looking, yeah, eyes averted and all.
That's it. That's my turn.
All right, let's see here. Okay. Awesome.
Everything has advantage on it until its next turn.
Nice.
Wonderful.
So that's your, yeah, it's your action. You moved, and you still have your bonus action.
I got nothing.
Okay. All right. Next in the order is Zim.
Alright. Zim's gonna keep moving. And I'm gonna try and hurl another stone at this thing. Without looking, so disadvantage.
So straight roll because
So it's a straight roll.
it's netted, so it's a straight roll.
Alright,
Yeah.
So we have advantage.
The lucky net.
Ignore those.
Kennett's lucky net.
Let's take the first one. 27.
27. That is a hit.
A whopping 2 bludgeoning.
Right.
And that 24 was a crit if we're taking it. I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to do that or not.
Absolutely.
A whopping 3 bludgeoning.
There we go. Damage is
Let's
damage.
go. Oh, let's go. Awesome. So you throw the stone, it explodes. Shards of some sort of matter splatter along the ground, patter the side of Crenshaw's armor, and splatter his shield. It begins to mist and steam as it evaporates.
That is
next in the order is the horror demon. Now let me go ahead and check this. So it does have a form, it's just impossible to understand. So it is affected by the net, of course. It can attack it or using its action. No, it's going to use one of its multiple attacks to attack it and damage it instead. So it slashes out at the net. It attempts to break it. Not even sure. Hold on, how would that even work? AC 10, it's going to miss.
Strength 10 DC.
Yeah, but he has also has the option to deal. It has the option to instead deal 5 points of damage to it by hitting AC 10, and it would have, if it did that, it would have more of its actions left. So it's gonna try to do that and cut through it, and hopefully get an attack on somebody, at least in its mind. So it does manage to, as it's sort of bulging, shifting, lashing out, its tentacles sort of curling back in to claw at the net. It manages to loop and hook into it and tear the net open. It then has one attack left. And I'm just going to roll. So 1 to 2 for Saida. 3 to 4 for RS. And 5 to 6 for Crenshaw. 5 to 6, it turns, well, one of its tentacles comes up from below and like slashes upward at Crenshaw. Total of 21. All right. Now this time, as it hits, the tendril, as it slashes up, it drops back down and tries to wrap around you. You can make an athletics or acrobatics check versus a DC 14. Versus, yeah, or be restrained.
I'm gonna use session inspiration.
All right.
Nope, worse. All right, cool. I am grappled.
You are currently restrained, in fact.
Okay.
Let me drop this up in Roll20 chat. Essentially, restrained creature's speed becomes 0. It can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. Creature also has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
What a waste of an inspiration.
Unfortunate. But it is next in the order. Is Crenshaw.
Alright, Crenshaw is going to bonus action second wind. And, come on. These rolls are horrible.
What we got? Well, was it? It was not a 1, 2. Oh man, almost.
Yep. Alright, cool. 5 HP back, and then do I just take double disadvantage on an attack for this thing?
No, just straight disadvantage.
Okay. Disadvantage attack. Trying to look away. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
To hit.
That is a hit. Very nice.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad I saved it for that. 11 slashes.
Two of those strange rotted rope tendrils drop to the floor and begin steaming as they evaporate as well. The whole thing again shivers. It seems hurt, you think.
Okay.
It's drifting erratically.
And then would it be in a I need to take a full action to try and break free, right?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to. No, I'm gonna save it. All right, that was my bonus action. I'm good.
All right.
My turn is done.
All right. Need to rewrite one of these tooltips. So. All right. So next in the order is Saida.
I know what I need to do. Foul creature, it says, covering her eyes. I will thunderously smite thee.
Yes. Rising to match the storm outside. All right. Well, let's see your attack roll first, because you're going to make a weapon attack as a part of that. If it hits, you'll do that extra, and
So I'm just used to clicking on it.
oh yeah. Let's go. Nat 20. Right on. That is a hit. So you can go ahead and roll that weapon damage and the additional 2d6. It also gets to make that attempt that strength saving throw. Where is my horror? There it is. Not its forte. A 10, and your save is a 13. It fails. It is pushed back, you say, right? Yep. Pushed 10 feet away from you.
Right.
Does Crenshaw go with it?
No, I mean, it sort of shifts around you. It still has a hold of you, but its form is, yeah.
Good. But now Crenshaw is in between it and the party, essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
All right, good.
All right. Nice round for Saida.
Did we get the damage on that?
The 2d6. Yeah.
She's got the weapon damage still that's also doubled from the crit.
Mm-hmm.
So I roll a 2d6?
Yeah, yeah.
You're missing 2d8.
All right, that's your 2d6 for the smite. There's also your weapon damage. Actually, yeah. DL had it up above. It was 2d8 plus 4d6 plus your strength. So I'm going to go ahead and this should all be on your sheet. You should just be able to click the attack rolls, and then when you click damage, it should work. All right, hold on just a moment.
It's there. Alright, it's like that's what I do, and it just keeps doing the same thing.
So you have to click on. Do you have a weapon attack in there?
Yeah.
So you have to click the weapon attack as well.
Yeah. And it's a nat 20.
There's no
Perfect.
way she rolled another nat 20.
It's fated. And then so down below.
Now it'll calculate the the crit damage correctly.
Absolutely. Okay. But yeah, go ahead and click that scimitar for damage, and that'll calculate the scimitar damage. Awesome. And then you also have the, I think you rolled smite already. So that's 2d8, 2d6. Okay.
Alright, past spells with weapons, when you click on it, it automatically has that in there, so I was a little lost there.
All right. Well, you can feel free to describe the events and your actions as you dispatch the horror demon.
Well, as she started, she had her grumbling, smiting curse, and she sword still with their eyes closed and slams it down directly into what she assumes would be the cranial area of this amorphous horror.
Fantastic. It parts your blade. It parts to your blade with a sensation something like wet rope or rotted leather. You hear it almost a tearing sound of torn paper at the end. The thunderous peal from your smite mixes with the rattling storm above. The thing, its tentacles seem to spread out in each direction, almost tearing from the body as it begins breaking out in steaming mist, evaporating into nothingness. With the sound of scattered movement, again, dashing, crawling, scraping of the undead climbing through the halls of silence, seeking either to escape or to find victims for whatever their strange necromantic madness is. You're certain that you know that ahead of you are, throughout the halls of silence, menai and their horror demon pets, but between you and anyone, there's people in the halls that are being attacked. There's people that perhaps need your help, students and such. But you also know that outside the halls, the city is apparently being attacked as well. Between you and any goal will lie some of the efforts, incomplete, failed experiments on resurrecting consciousness to the undead. But I think this is a good spot to take a short break, stretch our legs, grab some water, and come back. I'm going to go ahead and send us over to our pause screen. And everyone, we'll be back in about 15 minutes. I'll be back a little bit before. Some of us will be back a little bit more before that to talk. Blah, blah, blah. But we'll be back in earnest in about 15 minutes. Thanks for joining us. See you in a few. are back. Welcome back, everybody. And everybody, welcome us back.
Hello.
So yeah, it we left off. You had just dispatched this horror. So yeah, how do you all proceed from here? The only thing behind you is more of these observation rooms. All of the exits to the halls of silence are back to the west. So currently, the only real direction there is to go is to the west. But once you get up to the west, you'll have several options and choices of places to move. You know that you can take a corridor east, or continue west and move toward the exit. There's also to the north you can find some stairs and move up or down if you all decide you want to. But for the moment, coming back into that's not right. Coming back into the moment where we are, stepping back to the top of the order, Arrest turns to Kennett. He turns to make sure everyone's okay, and he just cuts eyes over toward Kennett and says, "What's next, boss?" His eyes cut back toward the corridor to the west. He steps around Saida, looking down the corridor. Says, "Seems clear."
Oh.
He creeps up a little more.
So we're pretty clear that that's the way to go, that going back in is not...
Yeah.
There's nothing back in that way besides observation rooms.
Yeah.
We could go
Alrighty then, we'll start
out
creeping this
of
way.
the hall or into the hall and see what we can do about whatever's downstairs, attacking, releasing, gathering, whatever is down there.
So, Kennett, how do you proceed? Arrest looks ready to follow you or proceed. He's just sort of moved and is looking around. That's all he's done so far.
I feel like we're soldiers and we would want to join up with the rest of the soldiers. I mean, if I was part of a unit, I'd want to try to get back to the army. So, and I would think get out of this place and try to regroup and find our strength.
All right. But for the moment, west is the only way.
Could we have our own unit?
Alright, I'll indicate that that's the way we want to go, but then I'll kind of like pause, cock the head, and allow for the group to give me feedback. We're going west. Eh? Yes? Anyone?
Unless we want to hide in there, it's our only place to go.
I say we press forward.
Alright, forward it is.
As Crenshaw is getting untangled here, what's it like, the tentacles? Is it slimy? Is it dry? Is it like
It's
weird? Are they sloughing off, or?
But it appears to all of it. Like it seems like parts are falling off of other parts. They're sort of dropping and drifting apart. Some pieces are hanging in air and sort of drifting out into pieces. The weight and like tension on you is evaporating with the forms as pieces drop off of you and other pieces turn to wispy motes of shadow, like shadowy smoke or steam drifting up.
Okay, got it.
In
So
seconds,
Crenshaw
there's
check
nothing
his
left.
armor to see if there's any marks, and he's gonna.
Yeah,
Alright,
it took a couple of buckles. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got a couple of places where the armor has been pushed in or dented from the thing's grip.
Okay. And he'll say, "All right, we're following you." And,
Aras steps back over, looks down at the net, sort of cut almost in two, snatches up the pieces, and sort of winds them around his waist and cinches it just to keep on. He seems to want to keep it. Steps back up to where he was. So we can choose to move if you like, all as a group. That'll be easy enough. If you all like, I would be happy to just grab your characters and move you.
I'm okay with that as long as Kenneth is slightly out front doing the scout thing, because that's my job.
Absolutely. Well, I will push these two back and organize that. Give me just a moment. So as you move through the sort of arched corridors, that strange mist-like layer of golden liquidy substance that makes up the walls, now transparent. As you move through the corridor, the walls continue to flicker and shift, sometimes strobing with slightly brighter light, sometimes glowering with shadow, but each time you can see more and more through the walls and floors and ceilings. The walls, as you continue ahead, the walls flicker even more, patches of them fading away entirely. As you step out into the area, as you step out down the corridor, it sort of opens out into a much larger area. Give me just a moment. That is not the right tool, roll 20. You know better. Reveal. Reveal all. What's that?
Roll 20's like, you mean the hide tool?
I guess, but no.
Come on.
Okay, there we go. Bam. Now, again, you can see out. You can see other corridors down below. You can see that the walls and ceilings have opened up from multiple of these as well. You can see down almost endless flights. Each walkway or set of corridors now are maybe 30 feet apart. So if you drop down, you can climb or drop down, move in between them, but they're 30 feet. And of course, if you miss, you could plummet for hundreds and hundreds of feet.
Mind calling us on the stream where we're at on the map?
Absolutely. Thank you. It's just you see immediately ahead of you as the corridor turns off to the right, heads off north toward the stairs that'll let you move up or down through the halls of silence. You see two young Magi, likely not ready for the field yet. They don't have any of their stripes. They have just the standard very dark gray. They don't have the sort of field Magi robes that are usually like charcoal black. You see them each hands poised, one holding a wavering shield around the two of them, while the other clinches the air with their hands. Beyond them, you see the forms of shambling dead sort of driving toward them. There's another, what seems to be it's a wavering bright pink smoke sort of drifting in tendrils, forming a rough wall in between them and the Tireless, now risen to consciousness. Make perception or insight checks or history checks as you look about you, as you gauge the undead that you can see as you're coming up around the corridor.
Oh, look, it got a 23.
Very nice. Okay, so as most of the, in the field, the Tireless dead have, everything is sort of folded in, hidden. They have a chainmail veil over their face. All personal effects are generally hidden. But this group all seem to be wearing clothes that are unique to them. You see an undead halfling and a dwarf, one sort of in that, the close-fitted trousers, high boots, wide belt. But and you see two humans dressed in very different clothing from human tribes and kingdoms, but they're dressed each in something particular to them. You can even see necklaces, jewelry, the remains of perhaps the remains of tattooing or scarring. So one is very recognizable to you. You recognize Basht. You recognize the copper chainmail he always wore underneath his alliance gear. You recognize the bronze-handled dagger that he always wore in the front of his belt. As the first one to spot this, you know, you have keen eyes. Not that you wanted to be a leader, but you have been, paying attention to your soldiers. So you recognize some of the kit and gear on Basht. And you sort of tense, thinking about his best friend next to you and how he might respond at seeing Basht living. How do you proceed, Kenneth?
Well, honesty's the best policy, so I will report back to the group that we've got undead up ahead, people to save, and Basht is among them.
Okay. Yeah, as that information rolls over the group, how do you all respond?
Crenshaw might ask Arrest, like, "Are you ready for this, son? Think you can handle it?"
Ready for what?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I may have missed something. Can it not say that Bosch was among them?
Basht is among them, but he hasn't.
Oh.
Okay,
then
Arrest
then
hasn't seen him
Crenshaw
yet.
doesn't know that then. Not with a 6.
I
Okay.
said that. I said that we had undead to take care of, and Basht was among them.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay.
Arrest goes rigid. His features harden even more. He seems to be moving stiffly. He looks uncertainly at you, Kenneth.
Look, I still have the control pet. I can attempt to perhaps re-subdue them.
Well, let's go then. I'll start moving forward and call out to the students to fall back and join us.
All right. You all can go ahead and move another 30 feet out. You can see that the two students are at the breaking point. Their sweat has pasted hair to the sides of their faces. One is sort of in a half crouch, as if they're almost like they're barely keeping themselves up. They both look near to exhausted. One of them turns sort of fear-wide eyes toward you, Kenneth. Whispers something fiercely to the other. The other one nods, and they begin to move very slowly back.
We have full-on dashed for 60.
Absolutely. You all can, definitely seem to be moving very slowly. So yeah, you can go ahead and move yourselves up.
I can't move 30, so.
I never felt like they gave the wee folk enough benefit to make that movement and some of their other things, their weight limitation, quite work out in my opinion. But
Because you have slow stride, but you weigh less. You could move less.
Yeah, and you can move through your allies and sometimes enemies' space. Yeah, still doesn't quite seem worth it. All right. So as you all surge forward, the dead seem like they are struggling, rushing forward. The form of Basht, chief among them, pushing just ahead of the others. 3 of them seem held rigid, while 2 of them are struggling forward. The 2 stumble back another step. Top of the order, Kenneth. Normal initiative rounds now. How do you proceed?
Well, Zoom said he thought he could get him under control again, so I guess guess I would just. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that we have time for that though. Yep, I'm just gonna come up here and shoot boss.
Okay.
Not sure how much good an arrow is gonna do against some undeads, but let's do it.
Say pretty good if you hit. And that is a hit.
23.
23. Your silver lanced arrow flashes through the air and slams into Basht. Why is it? That's not right. Let me change that.
7 damage.
Awesome.
Then I'll yell out to these students to get behind me.
Right. Yes, yes. I'll go ahead and put them. And we will put the on as well. Let me go ahead and shift it back around. Yeah, RS moves up with you as you run. Next in the order is Zim.
I will dash 50 feet movement.
A little gaggle of Zims come dashing up, fading through Crenshaw.
I was gonna ask, DM, did you mean to move Arrest up instead of Crenshaw?
Yes, I did. So sorry, you can go ahead and move him back.
Just wanted to check.
And
That's what happens when I'm zoomed all the way out.
action. Using objects in action. That is it for me.
All right, any bonus action for Zim?
No bonus actions. I don't think I have any. I do that right now. Yep, that's it for me.
All right. Next in the order is Crenshaw.
Alright, Crenshaw's gonna move up, right beside Arrest. And Crenshaw wants to, like, seeing kind of what's going on a little bit. He wants to prepare to grab Arrest if he's gonna do anything crazy. Like charge off to the undead or I don't know. In the back of his mind, he's a little worried that Arrest is gonna try and attack Kenneth for shooting an arrow at his once friend.
Okay, so you're just readying an action to interfere.
Grapple.
Okay. Very good.
Try and tackle Arrest if he tries to, like, if I think he's going for Kenneth.
Okay. Do you have anything to make use of a bonus action before you ready that action?
No, I want to save the rest of my superiority dice, so no. I don't have any bonus actions to take.
All right.
My turn.
Okay. Next in the order is Saida.
I would like to dash as far as I possibly can. So there. And then I would like to cast Bane. I'm gonna go ahead and blow that up
That's all right.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Pretty sure. I mean, yeah, the furthest is still too far away. Or the closest, rather.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that for me?
Well, the closest isn't even within range, so
All right.
gee, my bad.
No, it's okay.
Technology does things like that to me. Well, alternatively, drop once. Seems good.
I was reminding because I was thinking about your thunder smite. I think was thunder smite concentration. So we needed to drop our bless modifiers. I was talking to Zim to make sure we
Oh,
didn't
okay.
forget to take that off, the
That
modifier
makes
off.
sense. Yeah. Um, well, I can use one of my channel divinity to extend or regain an extend spell slot, which I think would be nice to use.
Nice.
Alternatively. So that is not the right one. This one.
I really like Harness Divine Power. I think it just really
Yeah, that's nice.
gives more value to those channel divinities.
I use it so much.
Yeah, that's a nice one. All right. What else for Saida?
Can I just prepare to attack if I get attacked?
You already dashed.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Well,
Then
I
that would
can
cover it.
I can jump out of it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see here.
Worried about these students.
The students, what looks to be a halfling and a human woman. Um, they're sort of huddled together. One still clutching the air before them. One continuing sigils and gestures with their fingers, keeping a wavering shield on them. They are sort of furiously whispering back and forth, sort of gauging their time. Once you all come close enough, they dash through and past you. Once they turn, one raises a small wand, and two sort of white, almost fireflies, waver and zigzag through the air toward toward Basht. The other one gestures, and fire erupts under Basht's feet. All right, the first, let's see here. The white fireflies explode across Basht's chest. But the figure, your former companion, stops short and, or actually, no, continues, sort of takes a quick step forward, particularly quick for an undead, as fire erupts. He seems to have evaded at least part of it. All right, give me just a moment. Oh, there we go. Now the dead begin surging. As soon as the shield is released, they begin dashing towards you. All except Bosch, who is moving slowly. He looks over you, and you hear, "I recognize you. We fought together. Fools all. The effort lied. Its oath, a binding of deception. You are trapped by it, but in death you can be free.
When did you learn how to talk again?
The rest of the dead that moved towards you, none were. They all dashed, none able to make an attack on you. But as they surge towards you, each make a wisdom saving throw versus fear.
Including Crenshaw?
Yes, they are coming toward all of you. You can see them openly. There's no real walls blocking you. You could take a step off of these platforms now and fall out into space. Evelyn and Zim, you are both shaken. You have a -2 to attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. As long as you're within line of sight of this group of undead. Thunder continues to boom overhead, rattling through the walls. You can hear it strangely as an echo like everything else, but the trembling beneath your feet is immediate and instantaneous. The older Magi, the woman, turns and says to Zim, Magi, they split up. They went north. They went up and down. Many masters fled before them. She's not able to say much more, as it is now Ares does indeed. He begins to step forward. He doesn't dash forward, but he steps forward, his eyes sort of wide, not caught by what Ares is saying, by what Basht is saying, but instead he seems to attempt to reason. As he steps forward and shoves the Magi out to the side. Wants to get closer, so he slips through to here, unless someone stops him. But he doesn't look like he's running toward Basht. He looks like he's running toward to get on the line, basically, to be up there with the rest of the soldiers.
Okay. If he's not frantic, Crenshaw's not going to do anything to stop him. If he seems to be in control of his faculties.
There's no humor on Ares' faces as he looks up and says, Basht! Basht, if that's you, you idiot! If that's you, say so. If you can hear me, if you know me. But he slashes out once at the risen before him with his spear. Or should, if I hit the button. There we go. First roll being a 14 is going to miss this first undead. Next in the order is Kenneth.
Alright. Looks like close work. Okay, so if I drop my bow, can I get 2 short swords out in the same turn?
Yeah, dropping your bow is a free action.
Okay, but can I get 2 short swords out, or can I only get 1? Because 5e rules, you can only have 1 object interaction per turn.
Yeah.
In 1D&D, they're saying you can basically, each time you use it, you can interact with it. But that could get both swords out.
Then go ahead. Let's do that. That is the rules that we're using.
Alright, so we'll do the bonus action to put Hunter's Mark on this guy right here.
Okay.
And we will take a main hand swing at him with a short sword.
All right. Awesome.
That is a
10 is going to miss.
Alright. I'll swing with the other hand for an 18.
The first, as it brought its gnarl up to parry, it's now high. You perhaps come around the other side. That 18 is a hit.
Alright, 14 damage.
The undead seems very hurt. You hear bones splinter beneath the armor. You feel it chop deep into bone, but not through.
That's me.
All right. Nice
Stand on
round.
the ground. No movement.
All right. Nice round. Next in the order is Zim.
Alright, do you want me to try and subdue them or just get rid of them?
Basht is spoken. Die.
Okay. I'll slightly move forward, kind of, and I need them to make a Constitution saving throw
All right.
as I cast Thunderclap.
All right. Let's see here. Give me just a moment.
That'll be the two in front of me and Steina.
The two in front of you inside.
Yep.
11 and a 23.
11 fails, taking 2 damage, and gets push. No, this isn't the push one. Takes 2 damage. The other one resists.
All right.
And that'll be it.
All right. Next in the order is Crenshaw.
Okay. Not a lot of room up on the line, and hard to get in. Would Crenshaw, this little pocket right here, that's on the other side of his allies, is 25 feet. Is there any, I guess he's got too many allies to move through though.
I think you could push through them. They're
Yeah, I was gonna move there.
because that would be a diagonal, and that wouldn't necessarily be. I don't think that's moving through their space. At least if it is, I don't consider that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get up into that little pocket. I mean, I guess it looks crowded because of Zim's.
Yeah, technically I'm actually next to Siva, so I'm only going through one person's space.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna push through.
Okay, so that'll be 30 because side of space will be a 10-foot step, 10 feet of movement.
Okay.
I like how the Zim shit.
Beautiful. It definitely simulates what's going on in my imagination. They're like stepping around, each doing different things, pulling something out of their pocket, each doing something slightly different. How do they act? Do they mirror you exactly, or do they all do different things, Zim?
They all mirror exactly.
Okay, awesome. All right, Crenshaw, you dash through, slip by Sida, push past one of the undead soldiers you don't know. How do you proceed?
I'm going to attack the hurt one. I got an 11 on that wisdom save. So do I have a -2?
Oh, that was in save. Yes.
Okay, so that was a.
Oh no,
wisdom save?
it was no. That was you saved. It was Zim and Evelyn that failed. Sorry.
Okay, so I get the benefits of the flanking then between me and Kenneth.
Indeed.
Okay. So I'm gonna one-handed strike that thing. Hiya! All right, the 16 to hit.
A 16 hits. That is its armor
Okay.
class.
6 slashing damage with the longsword.
You can feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch one of the risen Tireless.
That thing crumbles beneath my big long sword.
Awesome.
And then he is going to action surge and take another swing at
Yeah, buddy.
this one on the flank here.
Okay.
Same thing, long sword. Ignore that. So a 9 to hit.
Okay.
So that does not.
9 is going to miss, yeah.
Some wasted action surge. Wasted inspiration, wasted action
Oh,
surge.
man. That's
sucks.
rough.
Oh well. Alright. That is my turn.
All right. Next in the order is Saida.
Now it's relevant.
Mhm.
I'm going to use my green flame blade.
Yes. It's been waiting for you this whole time.
I'm going to strike out at the undead immediately in front of me. He smells awful. So, yes. That leaves... What the heck?
Let's go. Nat 20 again. Oh, my God.
It just seems a little rich. But I was kind of opposite for me last time, so I don't know.
Oh, the RNG gods are with you tonight, Pon Pon.
Apparently. Alright.
You must be getting all of Crenshaw's good rolls.
Yeah.
Wait.
That looked like it's a hit roll. But since you did it, you can go ahead and click the scimitar for damage.
That's what I was aiming for.
Yeah.
And then there's that stuff that jumps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is a
And you can roll another d6 for the crit, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. Haha.
6.
Ridiculous. Max on the second dice. 6 on a
I'm
d6.
using all my luck right now. Yeah, and then the d8 for the one to the right of him. Oh,
All right.
yeah, 7.
All right. Yeah, would you like to just describe the flame, or would you like me to?
I see it as sort of like a worm, a wyvern, kind of like forming wisps of dragon-esque like features as it swirls about the blade, moving up, and then jumps from the attack over to the other undead and goes around him, and I don't know, like chokes him or something with its flame tail.
Awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate that. All right. Nice round. That's any positional changes? Or are you going to stay where you at? Or
I'm gonna stay right where I'm at. No one's getting an attack of opportunity on me today.
fair enough. You can see that the undead just to the north of you is what they call, bloodied or blooded. It's definitely very hurt. Under half hit points. The halfling sort of steps forward. It again points, and flame erupts underneath the feet of Basht. Oh goodness! Trying to roll a save for Basht. I'm just going to do it this way. And he fails his saving throw this time. Oh, roll 20 is being weird. Let me go ahead and refresh it. It's not letting me open things all of a sudden. Just be another moment. It's happening pretty quick. All right, almost. Okay, and we're back. And I'm just gonna do this the easy way too, because for some reason the character sheet that I made for this one is not working. Basht takes 4 points of fire damage as flames come up from the sort of golden floor beneath and whirl around him. The other Magi points her wand again, this time toward the opponent that Saida hit first. 2 more bright white fireflies shoot from the end of it, weaving between each other and slamming into it. I'm not sure. I'll look back over some of these sheets because they're not. Wow. The undead, just in front of Saida, drops, its rib cage melting, bones sort of crumbling underneath each other as it collapses into a heap. She finishes, continuing what she was saying on her last turn. It seems that they are moving toward the reliquary and toward the keystone chamber. They seek to pillage and destroy this place. At best, they've also released these. She points to the dead. Now the tireless, risen dead, they raise their creaking limbs and they slash out, their gnarl extending outward as they grab them in 2 hands. The one to the furthest left attacks Kinnett. Ooh, but it rolls a 1. There's a mishap table, so I'm going to roll a d6 and check my mishap table really quick to see what happens to this undead.
I tangled him up in the net that's hanging in my belt.
Maybe so. That yeah, or yeah. Let's see here. Let me see what the chart says. What did I get? That was a 1. That was the lowest I can get. As it raises its arms up, stabbing forward with the spear, its limbs sort of halt and seize up. Provokes an attack of opportunity from Kinnett, from Aris, and from Crenshaw on the leftmost Tireless. You can go ahead and roll those attacks of opportunity if you choose to use your reaction. You can also save your reaction for something else if you want to, because you only get one of those around, as everybody knows. Loquitur takes an attack. All right. That 18 is gonna hit.
9 damage.
Very nice. Let's see here. All right. What about Crenshaw?
So I can just get an attack of opportunity?
Yes, if you choose to use your reaction.
I will choose to use my reaction.
All right.
17.
A 17 is gonna hit.
6. The sound effects are helping. I'm gonna do them as long as they work.
Nice.
Gotta take that one.
All right. As you all chop and slash in to this undead, this former comrade of the effort, you hear bones splinter and break, but not just where you hit it, as if its frame is sort of weak. It's still moving. The one to its far right attacks Saida as well. Attacks Saida with a natural 20 to hit. It stabs her in the abdomen for 18 points of piercing damage. man. Oh, goodness. It just dashes to here. Sorry, that was a little too much movement. As Basht runs toward Crenshaw. And it's shouting, its head turned toward Aress, eyes, so you could, if it had them, but you can feel its gaze locked on Aress. It's saying, "Give up your oath, my brother. Join me." And stabs out at Crenshaw. No, yeah, that, yes. For a 14 to hit.
That is a miss. Blocks. No, I want to say at a 14, Crenshaw sees him shambling up quickly and takes a step to the side.
Awesome. As you do, the heaped bodies nearby shuffle and stir themselves.
Uh-oh.
They rise back to their feet, but their actions spent. They do not make any turn.
Even Saida?
Oh, I'm sorry, not Saida. Goodness, that's not what I meant to do.
Zim, why don't you just say something?
You all can see deeper. You all can see chaos happening as you look through the walls into other corridors and chambers. You can indeed see two masses moving far up ahead of you, to a cluster moving up and a cluster moving down in, deeper into the stone, one moving toward the top. You know that the one moving upstairs, well, I suppose first I should say, Zim, you know what the Keystone Chamber is, where it is, and what it can do. You can tell that there is a mass of menai heading in that direction. But you can also see that there's defenders and such. You also know where the reliquary is. You know what's there. All of the most powerful, particularly things that the effort hasn't mastered or is protecting, things that they're studying, experiments that prove too powerful and dangerous for mass production, as well as the keeping of all of the most dangerous lore that the Magi and the former Kachina have. So they are absolutely going full on for a raid to this place. They are going to take, as if they can, all of the treasures of this place, perhaps, it seems, and then attempt to destroy it by removing the enchanted keystone from its position in the keystone chamber, which will release all of the folded craft holds, that extra-dimensional spaces of the Kachina's ships, folded then together in a greater working, will release them all at once, which will certainly destroy the newly blossoming fortress city of Evisar.
Hate to do a go back.
Sure.
That wisdom save on fear, what was the DC?
It was a 10.
Okay, then I passed.
Fantastic.
I have advantage on fears-based saves.
Fantastic. Now, we are at time. I do like to end on a cliffhanger, although it's not always the most fun to end in the middle of combat. But let's do a time check with everybody. How's everybody feeling? Some of us have stuff we got to do tomorrow. I know DL, I'm leaning toward just jumping off because you've got to get up in the morning. So,
Man, I don't want to leave with Saida down. we can stop, but man, it feels bad to have an X on somebody's face at the end of session.
That's true. Pon, how do you feel about?
With those rolls, I got too lucky.
How do you feel about pausing here then, Pon?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I really like drama myself.
My sister.
On whether or not I'll survive or not all week.
Awesome. Zim, is that okay with you?
Fine by me.
Okay. Big Bri?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. Fantastic.
Side is good with it. I'm good with it.
Well, awesome. Go ahead and wind this music down here. Put on something a little bit lighter. Let's see what I got. Let's see what I got here.
And old comrade returns. One party member down. Join us next week to see if the party lives or dies at the hand of their old soldier mate. What the hell do they call them? Comrades.
Effort mate, sword mate, shield mate,
Yeah.
hunt mate. That's the elven term they use. Bro.
Former chum.
Their former chum.
Frenemies now. The will they won't they question is finally answered. They won't. All right, this was a fun and bracing session. I really enjoyed this. I felt like things went pretty smoothly, like stream element and laid out stuff as well. I also like how we're gelling and getting a feel for, yeah, just how we all play together and stuff. I felt like this was a really fun session. But let's do a little bit of feedback before we hop off. Well, how about you, Big Bri? What are your thoughts on this session?
I rather enjoyed it. I mean, I'm sorry I missed last week and the RP and all that, but jumping straight into combat, this was, I mean, pretty combat heavy session, and I mean that's where fighters really take it in. So I was excited to get to use some of my maneuvers.
Oh yeah.
And show off some of those new skills. So I read. Yeah, I mean, I know we had just briefly mentioned that earlier, but sorry, I maybe got a little crass with the joking. So I apologize. I kind of instigated that whole thing. DL, I know you're a little confused on that. I think that was more my fault. I was just getting a little crass in the joking. So
I appreciate that.
You forget sometimes that you're streaming live. And
totally.
It's part of the learning curve for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you.
Sorry if that offended anybody. That wasn't my intent.
Awesome. I appreciate you saying that. And yeah, thanks for just just responding and flowing with stuff. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
But other than that, I had a lot of fun tonight.
Perfect. DL, how about you? Any thoughts on the session?
Yeah, the opening combat was pretty terrifying. Trying to get stuff done without looking at it. It was combat challenge there. But I don't know. Somehow I expected that thing to have like 1 billion hit points. I felt like we were fighting a beholder or something. But
Yeah.
it went down reasonably fast. I got that massive crit on it with a smite spell up. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was sick.
After that, like, we're sneaking around trying to get out here and like fighting this thing, and all of a sudden, like this massive thunderclap. Bam! I don't know. The imagery for me was really good.
Awesome. Heck yeah, dude, that crit was awesome. I was looking back over at the damage on that crit. That's pretty great. 6 on the die, a 10 for the crit damage, and then a 7 out of 8 on the D8. That was awesome. Oh, heck yeah, that was awesome feedback. I appreciate that, DL. How about you, Pon Pon? What are your thoughts on the session? Any notes?
I agree with the visuals. They were all around just wonderful. I took a few risks tonight in terms of my learning, which is why I felt like I tripped a little bit, but that's why, because I was trying some new stuff out, and I feel like I'm getting the mechanics a lot better with Paladin, because I've just been freaking wizards and sorcerers, so there's obviously some crossover, but it's been a freaking blast, and I was very suspicious of those rolls, so I'm not surprised that it down at the end. I felt like I had it coming.
Your HP seems suspiciously low.
It is very low. It's only 20. Well, I rolled really bad when I leveled up. I like to risk it and roll,
I love it. I mean, I think it's organic and realistic characters. Yeah.
Unexpected and.
Somebody getting knocked out any combat like this happening and someone not getting knocked out and one side just getting pasted is incredibly unrealistic. So really, I think it does play into the danger of the situation, the intensity of it. So I think that's a great choice, and I love how you roll with it. You roll with it really great, Pon Pon. I appreciate that.
Mine dying, it's fine.
We'll find out next time on Landfall. Um,
Yeah.
how about you, Joe? And thank you for that feedback, Pon Pon. But how about you, Joe? How was your night? Any
I
thoughts?
enjoyed it. The order is very strange creature that we've fought in Alice and the other Landfall game, and they're always annoying. That's what I'll say about them. They're always annoying. No matter what level you are, they're always annoying.
That warms my heart.
Yeah, I'm like a very different character build, really, than most of what I've ever played. Whereas Zim doesn't really have a whole lot of combat opportunity. Although I'm looking forward to being 4 giant lizards next time.
I think we're all looking forward to that. I think it's safe to say. Awesome. Heck yeah. Y'all, it's been a great session. Oh, what's up?
You got some cool comments from the peanut gallery too. Got feedback from 'em.
Oh man, y'all have been great. I really appreciate y'all coming and checking out the, being part of it and checking out the game. I roll back through some of these. Yeah, thanks everybody. And let's see, here's it. Watan Vader. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna call you Vader. First time in. Thanks for joining us. I hope you had a good time. And feel free to reach out. You can, find me on Twitch, DM Feanor, and a few other places. I run games through Start Playing Games, and I run them, of course, on Roll20. And yeah, I've got some stuff on YouTube and, of course, on Twitch, so you can find me on any of those, or just find me on Facebook if you want to message me there. DM Feanor on all of those. And I should have put that up. And just briefly, just briefly, I can't remember everybody's Twitch handles, but Pon Pon, you want to share your link with us really quick? Just tell us where we can find you.
Yeah. I am here on Twitch, so that's twitch.tv/FoxyPonPon. I'll go ahead and link it in the chat.
Heck yeah. Awesome. How about you, Mr. Finks?
My current handle is Finks Gaming, Finks with a Z at the end. And then I can be found on most social medias with the same.
Awesome. Okay. If you want to go ahead and throw a ready link up there in chat, people want to grab it. How about you, Mr. Locator? What do you want to share or talk about?
Locator, you can find me on YouTube. I cover the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes mobile game as my streaming thing for myself. So if you want to come out there and check it out, that's cool. For anybody starting the game, we got some of the best new player guides and things to do early in the game and help you get a good start over there. So try to cater to early and mid game players. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, come check it out.
You help people dominate the game without having to pay to win, right?
Yeah, exactly. Doing the most we can with the resources that we get to get ahead of everybody else. Yeah, we're very successful in helping people do that.
That's awesome. Thank you. Big Bri, you have anything you want to share or say? Any jokes or anything you want to say? Anything you want to share?
I think I those all out. I just thanks for joining us. Yeah, I'm just at Big Bri, Low Fry everywhere. So feel free to reach out if you want to.
Awesome. Heck yeah. Thanks so much for joining us, you all. Catch us next time and find us on our various social medias. Take care of yourselves. Get some rest. Make sure you're drinking some water. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya.